The color reveal for the 1977 2JZ Celica is today. Now I know a lot of YouTubers, they like make the title, they make the thumbnail. The thumbnail color isn't the color that the color is going to be. Then they string you along the whole way. The color's orange. It's orange. The Celica's gonna be orange. Orange? Orange. From Florida. Orange? The color's orange. But it's not a single stage or even two stage. It's a tri-coat. It looks good. I'm gonna show you. I'll show you everything in this video, man.
And now, you're watching the Orange You Glad I Didn't Say Banana channel of YouTube. Welcome to Bodie Vision.
Hey, so what is up and welcome, and thank you so much for joining me on yet another video. So with this orange paint job that is going to go on this beautiful car, well, it is going to be beautiful. It's a beautiful color. It's not the color that we had initially decided on and wanted to do. The initial color that we wanted to do was lava orange off of a Porsche GT3 RS, which is actually right here, that color. But when I went to go get the paint mixed, that's actually a water-based paint, and my paint supplier, they don't do water-based. I don't have any experience with water-based right now. I might have to get into it eventually. For right now, I am not doing any of that. Now that the car is blown apart and ready to go, I want to start to get into the paint process. And like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this is going to actually be a tri-coat paint job. It's not just going to be traditional base coat and clear coat. What makes this a tri-coat paint job is it's going to be a base orange, then there's a metallic layer which has some gold, red, yellow pearls and flakes in there, and then there's going to be the clear coat on top of that. So that's the difference between a tri-coat and a traditional base coat clear system. It's just one additional layer, but I'm taking it even a step further by doing a sealer before that base coat. So every time I paint, I'm going to have to do 4 layers, and those 4 layers in some cases are going to go on top of the primer, so that's going to be 5 layers, but the primer has been sanded down quite a bit, so it's a long process, but the aesthetic of the car in the end is going to have a really nice depth, a really good look, and that tri-color really does add a lot. So the first thing that I'm going to do is just my white sealer and then my orange base coat. So at this point, now that I'm done with my white sealer and my orange base coat, I have to do that one additional layer before the clear coat. Now I just wanted to show you a representation of how this layer works. It's not going to manipulate the color that much. It's more so going to give it a little bit more depth and change the color just a little bit. So this here, this is the orange base coat. This is what I had actually shot right out of my paint gun. If you can see this area where it's clear, if I roll this paint around, it's completely orange. Now that's to represent the coverage. This orange has a really good coverage, meaning you only got to do 2 coats, possibly 3, to get full coverage. Now this is that mid coat layer. As you can see where it's clear right here, and no matter what I do, if I move it all around, do the same exact thing I did, it's still going to remain clear there. So this is really transparent. It's just going to add a lot of flake, metallic, and pearl on top of that orange base. So I'm gonna go ahead for this mid coat and then the clear coat, and then we'll take a look at it. I told you it was gonna look good, man. When the light hits that mid coat and those pearls are dancing on top of that orange base, this car is going to be a showstopper. This is probably one of the cars that I'm the absolute most excited about because it has transformed more than any car that I've worked on as far as how rough the body was to how good it is going to look. So I'm really excited about that. So now I want to get the car out of here, and then I want to start to focus on getting all of those pieces. We got the doors, we got the trunk, we got the hood, and then I got the inside of the fenders that I all have to jam out. And the reason why I'm doing it this way in this process is because I want to paint the entire car at once to give us the best chance of having these panels as consistent as possible as far as the color goes. And this is a lot more important in this job because we have this mid coat. If you do more or less pearl on some panels, I believe it would manipulate the color and you would be able to see the differences in those colors. For example, if I did the hood off the car and then put it on the car, the hood and the fender might look a little bit different. And that's why I'm doing the process this way, so I can get it all painted together at once. Now we got everything sanded, prepped, and ready to go. I'm going to repeat the process. I counted my coats of every single layer. I'm just going to do the same thing. Even though it's underneath these panels, it doesn't require much of that mid coat in order to get it to look good. So I'm gonna just do the same exact thing. Some people might skip the pearl underneath the panels because the sun's never gonna hit it, but we don't skip things around here. We're gonna make it happen, we're gonna make it look good, and it's gonna match. Man, and that turned out just as good as the car was. Everything's looking good, everything's coming together. Now I have to focus on getting the car put back together before I can focus on painting the exterior of the car. Got a dog sneaking up on me, so I gotta get the car put back together like I just mentioned. I want to let these panels dry just a little bit. It's a really good idea, especially with the doors being as heavy as doors are, to give them a little bit of extra time, just because you don't want to chip any of that paint as you're throwing those doors back on. And keep in mind, the jam is fresh paint. The door is fresh paint, so that's a little bit intimidating. You just got to be careful. So at this point, with this being my first official tri-coat paint job, I think it's turning out really good. I'm really confident that the body is going to look just as good, if not better, because I put so much more time into the body than I did prepping out underneath some of these panels. Keep in mind, they are just underneath, but the outside of the body is really where it's going to matter. So that's going to be in probably the next video, even though the next video might not be a video on the Celica. I'm going to a car show this weekend. All the information for that is going to be in the description down below. I'm going to be bringing the V8 swapped 1988 LS Honda Accord out to the event. So like I said, that information will be down there. That is going to be this Sunday. I hope to see you there, and I want to get this video uploaded so that way you can see it before the actual event. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think about the color. Do you like it? Are you a fan of it? Would you have chose something else? So like I said, that's gonna be it. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.